Hey everyone, I'm back, and today we're going to be talking about Brazil. And this movie is directed by Terry Gilliam, and it came out in 1985. And this is from the same director as Monty Python and the Holy Grail, and also 12 Monkeys. And this one I heard was arguably his best movie. And I've always meant to get around to it, but never got a chance to see it. And now I finally did. And I'm glad that I finally saw it because I thought this movie was amazing. And it pretty much just sold me exactly what I would have wanted from a movie like this. I love the tone of the movie. I love how much of the movie feels like a dream. And without spoiling anything, that's very much the feel of this movie. It's like a nightmare almost, and it's very chaotic, especially in how it's shot at points. And the movie also looks great. There's very interesting characters that are also very memorable, and even the ones that don't have a lot of screen time, I do feel as though they add a lot to the film, and they're needed in this movie. And this movie is kind of a comedy, but not in a sense where characters are constantly telling jokes, but rather it's just funny the way characters are behaving, and they're very obviously trying to hide something, and it's just very funny from that point of view, just with the way characters are behaving, especially in a dystopian science fiction universe. Like, it works. I do feel as though the movie needs that, otherwise it'll be just kind of depressing and dull if it doesn't have that. And I also like how this movie is kind of somewhat cartoonish at points, where there's a boss character and literally he's just walking everywhere and he just doesn't stop walking, and everyone's just chasing him, trying to talk with him and to communicate everything with him, and he just never stops walking. Like, that's in the movie, and it's pretty funny. And the way characters behave at points is really funny and pretty much straight out of a cartoon, but not in a way that detracts from anything. It adds to the film and it complements the tone. The love story in this movie was also pretty funny at points, and the way it's all developed. So, like, it could have easily been communicated in a way that would make a lot more sense and caused a whole lot less problems, but it kind of adds to the film because the main character is kind of an idiot. That's established pretty clearly. Like, he just doesn't know how to communicate things properly, and he just always makes the things worse for himself, and that's very interesting to me. The pacing for this movie was also pretty brisk for me. This movie's 2.5 hours long, and I didn't feel the runtime personally. And there was always something to chew on, whether it be with the plot or what was being communicated visually or being implied inside characters' heads. Like, all of that was something that was interesting. And also, just with it being a science fiction universe, there's plenty of little details to pick up on how things operate in this universe. Like, characters hate their job, and no one really takes their own job that seriously. Like, that stuff was kind of amusing to me. And also, I thought the ending for this movie was great, and the reason I mentioned that is because supposedly this movie has multiple versions. I just watched whichever one was on Amazon. It didn't specify which version I was watching. And I was always advised, if I were to watch this movie, just make sure you don't watch the bad ending version. The movie always stays unpredictable for me. I never once had a clue as to where it was going narratively. And there's some really impressive practical effects in this movie that are very dreamlike and just very entertaining and add a lot to the film, I feel. And it's also very stylized. That's another thing that I feel adds to this world and the universe, is that it's not just like objectively how things are going to be eventually one day. It's like, this is from someone's vision that they had as to where things may or may not be going, or how things currently are, but it's just a bit more exaggerated to make it wonderfully entertaining. Like, that's the impression that I got from this movie, and honestly, the only flaws that I can really think of are just like little nitpicky things. Like, there's like one editing choice that was kind of cheated that I felt could have been handled a bit better, but aside from that, there's really nothing that dragged this movie down for me. I was always with it. Lots to chew on. Very interesting characters. Very well shot. The music was great. It added a lot to the tone and the experience. And I would definitely watch this movie again, first chance I get. Also, if I'm in the mood for it. Not that this movie requires me to be in a specific mindset, but I would just like for it to just naturally happen for me to want to come back to it. So definitely check this movie out whenever you get the chance. Just keep in mind this may not be a movie for everyone, and just make sure you don't get a bad ending version, which apparently is out there. I just don't know what it is. So with all that being said, I'm going to give Brazil a 10 out of 10. Thank you for watching my videos as always. If you enjoyed this review, be sure to leave a like and comment down below you thought of Brazil, and my social media links. They will all be in the description, so follow me there. And last but not least, subscribe to be a part of Foley Nation, and I'll see you when I get my next review up, and that is going to be for Conclave. So look forward to that, but until I get that up, thank you for watching and have a great day.